Welcome back folks. As we are going into 2026, I wanted to check up on the Blood of Dawnwalker, the upcoming RPG from Rebel Wolves that tells the story of Cohen, who becomes, well, a Dawnwalker as during the day he is human, but during the night he becomes a vampire. If you didn't follow any news about this title, one of its strongest announced features is the freedom of decisions you can make that move the time forward. So it means that you don't really have side missions, but every single mission, every single quest you do will be well towards your goal and making you stronger for that final fight. It will feature 30 days and 30 nights, and in that time frame, well, you must save your sister and your family. Now, the way this feature is designed is that time is not flowing continuously, meaning that, well, exploring around the game doesn't make that timer go forward. So if you're just standing somewhere, if you're just exploring, looking at, stuff around and even maybe fighting some stuff, it's not going to, well, progress that time and you don't have to worry. But rather the game will tell you when you're about to start a quest or do something within that quest, 1 hour might pass or 2 hours might pass or an entire day might pass. So in general, as you're going throughout the game and as you're making decisions on, well, different stuff as you do them, that is going to tell you when is that going to happen. Idea itself is interesting as it sort of gives the sense of somewhat urgency and overwhelming danger, but not the point where you have to rush the game in order to make it in time, which is great because a lot of people were worried and they were thinking like, okay, if I have 30 days to finish this and the time keeps moving forward, is that going to give me the ability to, explore and finish everything that the game has to offer? Well, yes. Now, after the initial gameplay video came out, some people pointed out that, for example, camera during combat was too narrow and that using ability shouldn't pause the game. So about 2 months ago, they gave us 25 minutes of newish gameplay, or well, newer build, where they show the latest changes, and as you can see, they really worked on combat to make the camera feel wider and better in that sense, as well as you can now activate skills real time during combat, which removes that pause and makes everything flow much better, because in the first gameplay video, every time you select a spell, it pauses the game, which some people did not like, and honestly, yeah, it's better if you just slow down time technically if you're in that menu. It just makes everything feel a lot more natural. Of course, as far as camera is concerned, if in some case you like the previous one, well, that will be a setting you can change in the settings themselves. Also, about a week ago, Rebel Wolves held a new event where they thanked everyone for their support in 2025 and that we should get ready for the release in 2026. There isn't a specific date yet, but if they go for the full moon to kind of go along with the game and vampires, to release in that sort of time frame, well, if it actually is during the summer, it might be around 29th of June, July itself, or during 28th of August with like the partial lunar eclipse or everything which is going to be happening during that time. But again, all of this is more speculation. They also posted a new story trailer with another character that is gonna be probably like our friend and our ally in the game itself, but we're going to need all of those allies to fight Brancis eventually in the end. Now, in the previous gameplay video they showed us, I never covered it fully, but I did enjoy what they posted there, as they focused on how day and night in the same location, like for example the Svartrao Cathedral, is going to have different things in it. So during the day we can freely enter, do a quest, it's gonna be people there with Deacon, but during the night we saw that Zante was there. Of course, because the game allows it, you can fight her right then and there, but it's better not to do it because you're weak, so what you're going to do is you're going to focus on your own mission and continuing your own quest. Environmental design so far feels great, very in line with how they want to portray not just the dark times that envelop the area, but also drawing from many cultures within that area of the Caucasus Mountains and around that part of Europe. In the presentation itself, they show that in-game we will be getting the silver sword of Saint Mihai, who's like the dude of that place, like the main guy, like the guy who just, you know, was the founder of it in a sense. Now, we can also see that he is not really dead, someone buried him alive, and vampires are very quickly painting over previous frescoes in the cathedral, which tells me that maybe they wanted to hide something, especially when it comes to Saint Mihai as well. Probably a way they can be defeated. I mean, we didn't learn much yet, but I'm really excited to learn why he was buried there, and what does all of that have to do with Brensis and his vampire group, but I think mostly it is going to be around that sword. Speaking of combat that we have seen for a second, as I mentioned already, camera was fixed, as well as activating abilities in real time made it much better. As the visceral part is there, I mean, parrying, defending, attacking from which side you select feels like it's flowing nicely. As we do stuff, we will also unlock hexes, or well, spells technically to use, but they will always draw something from us, usually, well, our blood that we have to replenish. Otherwise, Cohen can randomly go crazy and feed on anyone, including a very important character that is on your side. So that means if you don't feed and you are doing a quest and there is someone really important standing in front of you, Cohen just might go crazy, bite them, and well, now you have to live with the consequences. I mean, one thing I cannot wait to do is make all of the wrong decisions to see how much I can really screw everything up and, you know, sort of break the game. As when games allow you to do that, it's always a plus in my book. I mean, that's what makes the most interesting RPGs. Developers have been open with us seeing how the state of the game is progressing. I mean, so far in this gameplay video, they were not trying to hide some glitches and pop-ups which do appear, you know, because this is, well, pre-beta stage, which is very normal. I do believe that we are in for something really fun when this comes out, but again, time will tell. Rebel Wolves have also been very active at posting lore tidbits, considering how life under the previous administration, or well, the previous ruler Skander, was, because in that initial CGI trailer we have seen that, you know, Skander is pretty much going around killing everyone. He's not really interested in it. That's where, you know, the vampires come, they kill him and his soldiers, and they're like, now we are ruling all of this. Because, well, you have humans who do bad stuff to other humans. So now if a vampire comes and does things just marginally better, people will sort of accept this as a new reality, and also makes, you know, Brensis a lot more interesting because he's not just, oh, I'm a bad vampire, I'm gonna go after you. No, he's more of a probably morally grey character, and so someone that we can sort of understand the way they do stuff, because again, we have to understand things from their perspective. They are very old vampires and they see the world differently than, let's say, a human who lives to like 60, 70, 80 will look at. I do also hope that besides Brensis, all of his other vampire friends are going to be those interesting characters, and I do wonder if there is going to be some sort of dynamic between them. Like, are they going to be completely loyal to Brensis, or is there going to be a way for us to maybe change them, or I don't know, something that will just be interesting to sort of look at and sort of play in that way. Because keep in mind, this is not going to be your RPG in a way like, okay, I'm going to set the speed skill to my character to max and then I'm going to finish the game by just, you know, yapping to people. That's really not the case. It's more like you have to play them as characters and sort of play around them rather than focusing on like the perks and skills of your character, which is, I think, also interesting for, you know, making an RPG which has those decisions, you know, incorporated into the game. In any case, I'm glad that developers are taking feedback into account, and I do hope when this is out it's good, because, well, we want another great RPG, and if this turns out to be really good, I honestly cannot wait to see like where is this studio gonna be heading next. The Blood of Dawnwalker is coming out on Steam, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5, as I said, in 2026. We don't have the specific release date yet, but when it comes to that and when it comes to price, I expect the usual $59.99. And that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, consider liking and subscribing for more. Join our community on Discord and Twitter, and huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.